All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to, of course, the interview section of the channel. We haven't done one of these in, God, I think the last time was been like 5.
It's been months.
It's been months. It's been months, definitely. Especially with year end. I know we've done kind of like a trilogy with your interviews, kind of depicting the start, the middle, and now we're at the end. We're finally.
Yeah.
God forsaken the rest.
Thank God we're at the end. We're finally here.
We finally made it, trial and error, but we finally made it. I always like to start my interviews with, of course, the most important question. How has your day been so far? I know right now it's like fucking like 3 or 4 EST for us right now. Well, 3 o'clock my time CST. But how's your day starting off so far? How's it shaping up today?
Yeah, I mean, it's been all right. I had a busy ass day where I had to travel a little bit last week for work. Today I got to do like a half day because I had too many hours. So I was like, all right, cool. I could just hang out here the rest of the day. And,
that's good.
It's gonna be relaxing. I took tomorrow off, so I'll be just sleeping the next couple of days probably.
Perfect. Honestly, sometimes it's good to take those off days. When you get those off days and you get the chance to kind of relax and don't have to worry about like a busy work schedule and stuff like that. Honestly, one of the best feelings is getting to sit back, relax, enjoy life. Because life's too short.
Every now and then you gotta take a breath.
Drift about it. Definitely, absolutely. Well, Mr. Shep, I'm gonna get started. I got some questions here for you from the Discord that we did go ahead and ask.
Sure.
We'll try to put these questions, of course, on screen, so of course the people at home can also watch as well. I have a question here. First off, from of course Azel. I have here. It says, "God fucking damn it! I can't believe we're starting like this. What is the next nursing home stream?"
I've thought about that one a lot, actually. Like taking a photo. I need to because Jay Big sold my setup before. I might take a photo of my setup that I got now. I moved and everything. I got like a shit ton of gaming stuff set up now. So maybe not a nursing home stream, but more just like another like setup reveal.
That'd be very cool.
Maybe we'll do that.
Gotta revisit the setup reviews. Did that once, and some of those setups were very interesting. Mr.
Airplane seats have been they've been retired. Right now they're in the garage. I just don't have a place to put them right now, but they're in my garage. I gotta figure out where they're gonna come down here eventually, but I just gotta figure out where they're gonna go.
Yeah, because the airplane seats are so iconic. Like every time you think about Shep Bandicoot's setup, it's always gotta be the airplane seats. The airplane seats gotta be there. The airplane seats are very iconic. Okay, my next question here from Will Blackwell. Why are you old?
Life happened. That's why I've been dying a lot quicker, I guess, than most of you.
Time's moving too fast for this guy. So sit back, relax, but that's how life is, ladies and gentlemen. Life can grab you by the horns.
It's gonna be gone before you know it. So just, yeah.
Yep. Live life like it's, live life like it's your last. Live every day like it's your last. Enjoy it. Spend it wisely. Never know when it's gone from you, when it's too late. I got a question here from Me Maker saying, which 5-star was your favorite and which one was your least favorite? Now, this is going to be a very interesting question. Depending on your answer, a lot of people are gonna take this to their grave.
Okay, so with this one, because I have objectively what I think was the best and what wasn't. I'm gonna try to give you my personal favorites, I guess. Okay. My least favorite would probably have to be Ruby Bandy, just for the amount of bullshit I had to deal with behind the scenes after that one. I think that's probably got to be my least favorite personally. Or Dawson and Stein too, because I got a lot of shit for that one too.
Oh yeah.
So like objectively, I think that they were good, but it's like personally, I have a little hatred for. Personal favorite though, I think it's either Ruby and Inko, with that like little kid in the crowd happening.
Oh yeah.
or Vacation Guy versus Shay Cross.
Oh yeah, I liked their match when you gave them the 5-star. I was like, that was well deserved for the amount of stuff that went into that match. So it was something that we were expecting, but didn't surprise us at the end of the day. So definitely, I could see why those are your personal best. The little the Ruby versus Inca one with that with the kid in the crowd made it so
like,
synonymous.
Oh, it made the match. It put it over the hump.
Mm-hmm.
That
definitely.
Vacation and Shay, like I was sitting there watching. I'm like, I've been really hoping for these two to get one eventually, and they finally did it. And I was like, yeah.
It was so perfect. I'm sorry guys if you heard me coughing. The thickness is still killing me, but it's so synonymous. So right now, for the past week and a half, it's congestion of my sinuses are killing me. My throat's been killing me. I've been suffering with like a severe cough that's just been aching me the past week. And then I got so sick that I needed to go to the emergency room where I stayed like 2 days because my apparently heart palpitations were not in the best of sorts. So you had to check my
oh Jesus.
I checked my levels. Apparently I almost was in cause I was leading towards having heart this is sorry.
You were borderline heart attack.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So luckily they checked my levels. Everything was fine. They just told me they just want to check me for like a day or two, see if everything was normal, and I could go home with, of course, whatever meds that I needed to take. Luckily, those meds have been
cut down
taking
the
in.
McDonald's a little bit.
The McDonald's? I have not touched the McDonald's in like fucking holy shit. I think it's been like 5-6 months that I have not touched McDonald's. I think what probably what it was. The doctor told me it was probably like a lot of stress that was like the majority. He was like, "Are you stressing a lot at home?" I was like, "Wouldn't you like to know?"
Boy, am I!
Boy, am I! Chewilikers. But no, it was one of those things.
The doctor's like, "Don't talk to me like that. Don't say
no,
that
I'm being
me.
honest. I'm being serious. Stop treating me like a fucking kid. I'm this is life or death scenario.
Yes, sir. yes,
I'm
boss.
sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. But no, luckily it wasn't anything too bad. Luckily it wasn't, the other stuff. So.
Yeah. No,
oh my God. Holy shit. Absolutely. All right, enough about me. Let's move along to you. I got another question here by Ralph's. Oh my Jesus Christ. I figured half of these questions were going to be more rec room wrestling related, but what are your thoughts about each powerhouse in rec room wrestling? I don't know how many powerhouses are in rec room, actually. I do not know entirely, like off the top of my head.
I can see why, like, Powerhouse, everybody, I guess the general consensus with Powerhouse is that they're boring watches for the most part. So I feel bad for the Powerhouse people because, like, you already have a disadvantage right there. Personally, I think it adds a little bit to a story. Like, if you have a good Powerhouse and, like, a nice high flyer, like, that's a really good combination. It's really hard to make Powerhouses more innovative, though. So they're kind of like in the middle area where you're strong enough to help a narrative, but you're not good enough in ring to kind of push things forward. Just right in the middle there for me.
I think I think that's the only downside is that, like, synonymous with that information. I look at Mr. JD out of all of them. Everyone's like, "Oh, this guy can't," because he's a powerhouse. He would call his stuff boring to watch, or so on and so forth, right? It's just, you got Ralph's as well, who's also a powerhouse. That's already a disadvantage as well. And I guess I fit that bracket too in a way, which kudos. But no, honestly, we're all at a disadvantage, especially with, like, the big guys. We're kind of just like, we got to work with what we got. And it's difficult to kind of innovate and add more to the moveset and be more innovative without us having to look like we're, holy shit, that powerhouse just, Mr. JD just flew like 10 feet or something and did a flip or whatever the hell. So, it's a little difficult to
I think so. I might disagree with you a little bit there, because I
mhm,
think if you use it right and sparingly, you might end
mhm.
up like doing like a Keith Lee situation, for example,
Oh no,
where like
yeah, yeah.
he was a heavy ass dude who could do cruiserweight ability level moves.
I look at
Um,
yeah. What is it? The guy from the Viking Raiders? Fuck, what's his name?
yeah, no, he's another
Yeah,
perfect example.
yeah,
I think that's Ivar.
yeah. Ivar, yeah. Picture of Ivar on
Yeah.
screen.
Every once in a while, if you could break out one of those, like yeah, you're gonna be really well known for something like that. Um,
I think recently with one of JD's matches, he did something that I don't remember. Honest, he's gonna have to tell me in the comments, or I'm gonna have to text him personally, and I'll put it on screen what it was. But he did a move that like it was kind of like a tilt-a-whirl, but he like lifted his opponent up, and like it was so fluid, and I wish it was recorded. And it was like something new that he added, and it was this recent. I think he might have done it recently at the Battle of the Belts pay-per-view, which the video should be coming out, and if it's in that video, probably be able to see it or what I'm talking about. But it was so unique. It was something new. So in a way, I could see how adding different stuff to your moveset every so often, like for example, like the Braun Breaker type situation where like you have him as like a fast speed, still built guy, but he's able to run up and do a Hurricanrana. Like,
but he's athletic, and he's
athletic and all that.
He's got agility.
So, so I think I agree with you on that standpoint, that as long as they're not pushing it like some of the high flyers nowadays, where it's just like you have to flip, which don't get me wrong, I know that's like the main selling point, but when a powerhouse is able to do something unique like that, I think it does definitely make a memorable moment where people will remember, be like, hey, that guy did that and that was cool.
Yeah, powerhouses are underrated. Like JD's like whole ring work the last year has significantly improved, I would say.
Definitely.
And like Ralph too, he exploded this year too. He's been doing great. You've been here.
I've still been here. Don't worry. We've, ladies and gentlemen, I officially got my first world title at RW UK on a brand that I should not exist on. Yeah, recently, yes, I defeated Meme Maker. I defeated Meme and retired him, and I did a picture of Drew McIntyre. I'm gonna put it on screen. I did the meme picture of Drew with the belt on in a Buried Alive match on a weekly. Yeah, a weekly.
Huh. Congrats.
So I thought it was cool, because I was like, the last time I ever held a world title was FRW, the day it closed.
So yeah, not really. That's like a Mickey Mouse championship.
Yeah. So slap on the wrist, I guess. But we'll go ahead and move on with our next question. And I see here, so Azel again asks one more question again. Will we see another match from you? I don't know what the entail about this. Like, I don't know what they mean by like see another match from you. I don't know if it's like a specific thing or what that entails, but I'm guessing something like kind of like how you did with the mob, I would kind of presume.
So more like, will you see me in a ring capacity at some point?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give the short answer. The answer is no. I had a couple commitments that I was gonna do. I already did one with the Will Blackwell podcast, like the Out of Kayfabe. This was one that was supposed to happen at Retcon.
Yeah.
Is that even? I doubt. Did that just get canceled?
So honest to God, to explain how that works is that we were supposed to originally. So Retcon was supposed to happen, and we just haven't had a time or like a certain like open schedule, like a certain open date that we could choose, because there's. I look at how many companies are still running right now. Almost all of them have time slots taken, and then for us to just kind of be like, hey, we're gonna take this
push
whole
it
week,
over,
and then they don't have shows or whatever, or we did mention there's possibilities for them to run shows at Retcon too, to kind of make it like incentives for them to like, if we're able to get those times, but we never got the chance to like fully lock that in. So originally this interview was supposed to happen live, and it was supposed to be at Retcon with everybody, but
Yeah.
We had to do this.
So that was commitment number 2. The third one, I don't think it's ever going to happen. I haven't heard anything since, so I'm not going to say what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So after this interview, I'm likely just going to be, I'm going to uninstall the game. I'm officially going to be done. Take it off my system. Yeah. So the answer
Finally.
is no.
Finally, the man's finally going to be done with Rec Room and everything in between. I'm hoping that does not pick up on. Let me see if I can fix that. I apologize.
Yeah.
Something like an overlay thing came up on my screen, so I'm gonna make sure that doesn't appear. That would suck.
Yeah, no.
That would suck if an overlay appeared on the fucking screen. Anyways, okay, we are back. Here we go. Another question, and this one's from Vamney.
Okay.
Oh God. Why did you give me 3 5-stars? Sad face.
That's actually not a bad question. I thought it was going to be much worse.
But I already know with whatever answer he's given you, this man is gonna either 1, enjoy it, or 2, he's gonna cry about it. So I'm waiting to see.
That's how a lot of questions are in interviews. They're usually like very specific. They're just like, oh, and so what do you think about this sort of thing, which happens to apply to them.
Yeah.
But this one's just more direct. So to answer the question with Sam Carito, the one thing, he did something that was very different than what everybody else had done up to this point, and I'm shocked that it took 3 years for it to happen. So you know how I always talk about like selling in matches? How I'm always,
yeah, definitely.
That's like the biggest complaint that usually happens. So with Sam, the one thing he did differently, and I tried to point it out each time he did it, was like, let's say you targeted his arm throughout the match, right? Like you targeted his right arm, severely injured it, you hit it with a chair, like whatever it was. That would happen to him. And instead of just no-selling the fact that his arm is getting fucking destroyed, he played into it. Like if he hit the hidden blade with his right arm, oh shit, now I can't hit the hidden blade with my right arm, so I'm gonna go with my left. Like he's thinking he thought logistically about how the moves that you did within a match affected the match later on.
Okay,
and I think that's the main thing that separated you personally from the other people at that time. I think people started to pick up on that a little bit near the end, but it took 3 fucking years for that to happen. And somebody finally realized what that meant.
Somebody finally realized the secret juice and was like, hey, I know how to get them.
And that's how you ended up with 3 in a row, is that you just keep listening to that. You keep, like, you don't just ignore shit happening to you. Like a Rusev, AJ Styles 2018 Extreme Rules match, for example. Like it was the same thing. Like Rusev, that might be an interesting poll. Go back and watch it if you haven't. But Rusev, he gets targeted the whole match on his leg, and AJ Styles, like that's his game plan. He's going to take him out the leg, and he's going to make him tap out to the calf crusher. Well, the match is going, and Rusev, he actually gets the accolade on AJ Styles, and it looks like he's going to have the match won. Except it's near the end of the match, and he got tacked the entire time. So his leg gives out. His leg buckles, and he can no longer lock in the accolade. AJ Styles capitalizes, calf crusher, match over. That's perfect. Perfect selling right there. That would be the best example I can give you.
Oh, you heard it here, folks. But honestly, that is very, very, that was such a fucking pull. I had completely forgotten about Rusev versus AJ. That is a fucking pull. Wow. I'm going to have to watch that later now.
Make the selling make sense is what I'm saying. Like that's the thing that separated you. If you don't, like if you attacked an arm and all of a sudden you're lifting somebody up with that same arm, it's like, oh, okay, well, why do I buy into anything you just did? Like that, it literally means I'll give you adrenaline maybe once, right? But like if you keep doing that consistently, it's like, all right, well, I can't buy into anything else you're doing.
Yeah. Okay. That is a very good primal example why you have 3 5-stars, and I can see why. You know, definitely the selling is very important. I could definitely see that there. Wow, I did not expect to get so much lore from like you got 3 5-stars, but hey, Hey, kudos to you, Sam Korea. Kudos to you. I have two
Yeah,
questions here.
when I heard the question, I was like, wait a minute, that's actually not a bad question to ask.
It isn't, honestly, and I was expecting you were gonna like when he asked that. I was like, oh boy, we're gonna get into that the creme of the creme where it's like either you say something and he's gonna be like,
so what do you think of me?
No.
Well, you suck, and he starts crying.
And period. That's it. That's the end.
Yeah.
So. Next question here that I got is, if you remember, what was your first Rec Room wrestling match you watched? That's an interesting one. That's gonna make you go like really far back in the memory bank.
That's a deep pull. Oh, what could that have been? It had to be something either an Impact or like NXT RZW.
Ooh, okay.
Or maybe not RZW. NXT. That had to be WWE at the time. I don't even know what match I was watching when I went in there. I remember Scratch coming out because he had that same stupid like, I came to collect. Like that's how I remember it was.
Oh yeah.
He cut a promo or something. That's literally the only thing I remember from that show that I saw. The Impact one, there was a multi-man match I know that I saw. It might have been tag. Fuck, it's so hard to remember. Plasma was likely in it.
Mm-hmm.
Taxi likely was in it. Jordan Collins might have been in it.
Oh.
What do you think? Who else could have been there? Mr. Know-It-All, he may have been there.
With Jetstream or like Shake?
Maybe Jetstream. It might have just been 5. It was either 5 or 6. I know I recorded it because I put it in I put a clip of it somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the first one though? I don't know. That's a tough question. It probably had some variation of like a Plasma, Jetstream, Taxi, or Jordan Collins likely. I can't tell you for certain what that real match was.
Well, we'll put it in the ballpark that it might have been at Impact, which honestly, Impact's got a lot of lore to that. And funny enough, we're gonna run into, kind of feeds into our next question. It's from Mr. Know-It-All. For those who don't know,
okay,
what's the story of how you got into wrestling commentary? And to add on to that question, what was your first time doing commentary and how did that impact you?
Ooh. Okay, so the story, I've told the story a lot, I feel like how I got into it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll add a little bit to that, I guess. During the pandemic, I got WWE 2K19. I was really I was kind of grinding that out a little bit since we were stuck in hell. We couldn't go outside. I made up, I was a little dorky. I made up my own universe mode. I had a bunch of custom characters in it, and I would do commentary over their matches just by myself. So I practiced a little bit like that because I always thought about it a little bit. But how everything kind of began was I was doing my Rec Room videos per usual, and I stumbled upon Rec Room boxing, like Rec Room MMA. Mm-hmm. We'll kind of fast forward a little bit. So I got picked out of the crowd. I went out there. I did a show for him. I did a couple other ones, and then months later, I just wasn't doing anything. Ended up at Impact. Same story basically. I'm in the crowd. I'm commentating in the crowd. I get picked out from Taxi, I believe, who picked me out, or somebody. It was somebody who picked me out, and they brought me to the stage, and I was just doing commentary on stage, and yeah, same thing. I was just being myself. I was just talking about what was going on, practicing what I had already done, trying to make people laugh. Yeah, I think that's pretty much how everything began, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
And how do you think that impacted you, like going forward, with everything, once that that big moment where everybody saw how you started commentating for, especially because in Impact, that's right. I remember seeing you was when I was brought into Impact. You were there. You were the major voice of commentary, and I remember that. Like, what do you think? Like, when you started from that first time that he brought you on stage, how did that impact you moving forward with like where you are now? Like, were able to finish with everything?
Yeah, so that time, that was like a very dark time actually in my life, like outside of the game, obviously.
Yeah.
A lot of personal shit had just happened, like a lot of hard life hitting me all at once,
Yeah.
very suddenly, and it was just like I think about a month later is when the impact stuff happened, and like that kind of dragged me out of it a little bit more. Like it's so like I don't say this lightly to you guys. Like you guys did help me in a very shitty time in my life. And I kind of use this as like an escape, I would say, from that. I learned how to talk a little bit better to people. I like with commentary, I was able to just kind of improv a little bit, communicate better. I obviously wanted to do the YouTube stuff too, so that was another big like driving factor with this. I was trying to make that grow a little bit more, so I leaned heavily into like the character of what the commentator was, and that like that's why like when you hear like, oh, I'm Shep Bandicoot, the voice of Rec Room commentary, like I'm adding things in there so that you know exactly who I am, what I'm about, and like at the end I'm always plugging the channel at the end.
No, always. I remember it was like the major selling point for me was when I met you for the first time, was that at the end of the show there was always it had to be, if it didn't happen it wasn't you. I was like, it's either got to be a clone or it's not you, because it was always so synonymous. At the end of the shows or end of pay-per-views or whatever, it was always to subscribe to Shep Bandicoot on YouTube, and it was always, it had to be plugged in. I'm like, if it didn't get plugged,
and like I'd start the show the exact same way too. I'd be like, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Shep Bandicoot, the voice of Rec Room Comment. Like I would say it like without missing a beat, because that's how you would remember me, or I'd say some variation of that, because that's always how I'd be approached afterwards. It's like, oh, that's the voice of Rec Room Commentary.
Get that guy, Mom.
And I took that same thing too with the Godfather character. I was like, well, like number one, like the nickname the Godfather, same thing. Like just making it memorable, so that way, like, oh shit, that's the Godfather. Or
it's
like
that guy.
Yeah, or like the "it's not personal, it's strictly business" catchphrase. Like that's ripped right from the Godfather movie, and it's the one thing that I leaned more into. It's the same concept basically.
Definitely, and it stuck. It stuck, and a lot of people did remember that. You know? I look at the amount of people that are like, "Die, mom, die! Let the mom die." Good time. Good time.
Good times. Yeah.
Oh,
so I guess the impact was a pretty big impact, I would say. A lot's really changed since then. I don't really have the time to do this as much as I used to, and that's the main reason why I wanted out near the end. I think mentally I was starting to regress a little bit too. Like I don't know if you guys know this or not, but running a story sucks.
It's so painful. I gotta sit there and just no scribble this. No scribble that.
It's like being a manager, and you have to like deal with little problems that go along the way to make things run properly. It's like it mentally it takes a little bit out of you, and it's like I think the toxic aspect of Rec Room Wrestling at the time too also wasn't helping.
Oh yeah. Part of that, and then writing and fixing everything. Yeah, I can kind of see why that was kind of like a catalyst to you. Be like, hey, maybe I need to like step away, look for things from the outside.
No, I knew I was going to be out like when I wrote the story, because the ending was specific for me to get out. But it was like, no, just like the whole impact of everything. Like I got to meet all you guys through it. I wouldn't necessarily say I have a lot of friends within Rec Room Wrestling. I had people I talked to a lot. Like every now and then I'd play games with you guys, but like you guys all had like your own tight knit communities. I think the age gap thing was also a little weird for me. It was just like I had a friend when I was like growing, like our friend Star is a couple years older than us, I don't know. I always felt a little weird about that, so I didn't want to like. I never want to overstep in that way.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But yeah, I would say like you guys had a huge impact on me, and for the personal shit that I had to go through outside the game, I thank you guys for what you helped me with in that way.
Good guy, Shep. Ending off the story in one segment at a time.
And I am yapping a lot.
I mean, no. I mean, hey, this is the last time I'll get to like actually like talk to you as close as I can. This is the most physical, the way that I can communicate with you, and it's like, and enjoy it.
And he's like, I am talking to you, so
I'm talking to you. Talking to you so closely.
You're just like, just leaning away.
On to our next question here. This is from Britt, and it says, if you were a full-time wrestler, who would be your dream opponents, dream feuds, and what would your moveset consist of?
If I was full-time, okay, let me think back to when it probably would have happened, because like obviously we're past that now.
Yeah.
There was a time, the closest I got was at the end, like the beginning of January of 2023. So I think I'll place myself right there. Let's pretend like I would have been full-time at that point. That one, I probably would have wanted to face Mike Powers, because him and I were already beefing a little bit, like on commentary, just like banter back and forth.
Yeah.
So like when he was still that heel character, I probably would have loved to go against him at that point. Peak Stein time when that happened, I would have liked to face, or Ruby, either one. At that time, I probably would have faced Bandy too. I would have loved to face Bandy. A lot of the Vacation guy probably would have been a fun one. I think those are probably the match. I think feud-wise, it would be a little harder because a lot of those people I just named were faces at the time as well. Mm-hmm. But like, I don't know. I was getting to the point where it was pretty hard for people to boo me. So I think I would just want a story where like, if I like with the mob shit, I turned heel when I knew there was like no turning back to face.
Yeah.
So if I were full-time, I would be a face for a while, and then I'd likely turn heel at some point, and I'd probably end as a heel. Something similar, but like in ring. I feel like that way I could actually face those people I wanted to face.
Definitely.
Damn, what would my moveset be?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Like, would you be like more like a striker, technician, high flyer, powerhouse?
I think I would try to be like all around. I would say like I wouldn't try to box myself into one specific moveset. I would probably like if I was strong enough in situations. So I was facing like a cruiserweight, for example. Like, oh yeah, maybe I do some powerhouse shit during that match.
Yeah. Okay.
If I'm facing like a JD or a Ralph or a Will Blackwell, who's like heavier, like powerhouse type of person, then maybe I'm not doing powerhouse shit. Maybe I'm leaning more in towards like speed and agility. So I'd probably change it based on like the opponent I was facing. Moveset wise, I might try to do that like 5-star frog splash. I think that's a pretty basic move in the arsenal.
Very good choice.
I always thought about like the underhook DDT. Like I always liked the Dean Ambrose underhook DDT, so I might have done that.
Big old dirty deeds.
Like a good signature or finisher, something I could hit from like out of nowhere too. I mean, it would probably have to be some sort of strike. But like, I don't really. There's nothing that really speaks to me, you know.
Shep hits a Judas effect out of nowhere.
I would have loved to figure out the high flying shit. Maybe like every once. Oh, I did. I know one move. Like if I could pull it off, that would have been insane. A red arrow, like Neville's red arrow.
Oh, that would have been peak. I
probably would have like.
Remember that.
I would have bring that out as like a super finisher or something like that. Would be the one thing that nobody kicks out of.
That would have been crazy. That would have been like the most protected super finisher move, I think, anywhere. I feel like if that move was brought out, definitely would be like the most protective move out of your arsenal.
And if you could hit it properly, because I don't know the physics of the game. I'm like, if that you could actually manage to somehow make it look like a red arrow and
Mhm.
hit it like a red arrow, oh yeah, that's game over. You're like, that's
Yeah.
something you're staying with forever.
I think the only time someone, if I remember, someone has hit the red arrow at one point, but I think it was like back when the old Beanbody used to actually look like the moves actually look fluid, and not right now where it's like you try to do a flip, you have to like do it perfectly, or you look like you're a contorted pretzel, and it doesn't look good. So
Yeah.
it's iffy. But if we were back then doing this stuff, like for example, I look at when Danny used to not jump off X Factors, and instead of grabbing the belt and jumping off the X Factor, he has done, I think, the red arrow. I think it was him, or it was either. I'm starting to think if it was either Danny or Deathstream. I think it was either one of the two. But mostly those guys were the main ones that I knew that could do the flips like really perfectly.
Yeah, I think if that was my moveset, like I'm mainly just thinking like finishers and shit.
Yeah.
I'd adjust everything else. I likely wouldn't try to pick people up for a finisher or anything like that. That's why I'm thinking like underhook DDT, because that'd be simple. A frog splash, because you wouldn't see it coming. You'd think it would be a red arrow. And then when you really didn't expect it, the red arrow.
Bingo.
That would be game.
Guys, somebody make that in creations right now. Somebody make Shep Bandicoot have these movesets. If not, I'm going to be pissed. 2K26. Someone, whoever has it, make him into a character. That'd be so sick. We got our next question here. It's from Sway, the squid guy. What match has got the best storyline / storytellings that you have seen?
Okay, I'd be biased if I say what I'm thinking right now. So the obvious in my head is like the mob shit. So I'm going to think of a different answer for the purpose of this.
Honorable mention, the mob.
Yeah, I'm like, if I think of story-wise, it's like literally, I could go on days defending that. I even wrote that shit in a review too. So I'm like, if you need to go back, and I could say whatever I want, but it's not going to change opinion. So it's like, yeah. Let me think of a really good one that happened story-wise. So the thing I really liked about the Stein Dawson match when it happened was like the story that they had told like within the separate companies. It was like, it's just like the basic mentor, like when you look back now, it's like the mentor mentee student story.
Yeah.
But it's like, it was done in a way where it's like, oh, Stein retired, but then he didn't. So he gets jealous. Stein comes back, and like they basically butt heads. And like, I like how that was done. Other than that, like storytelling in Rec Room Wrestling, it's usually pretty one note or like a couple sentences, I could say. Like, Power and Danny, who feuded in TNA for a couple months early on, it got personal. They got into like, I guess the other one I was really interested in would be like the, I want to say Vacation Guy when he turned heel. I was really interested, like when that happened. I predicted it before it happened. I was like a fortune teller back then, because that was the Cena heel turn pretty close to that after that.
But that is true. That is true.
But I remember that was the first time I'd been like really interested to see where a story went, was like with Vacation Guy. I think it's a shame, like the whole mind control thing. It's like, I get it. You didn't really want to commit to him being a heel, so that's the reason why he did it. But like, that's like a writing. It's like, oh, well, he does it because of this. It's like, that's a little bit of a writing crutch there.
Yeah, no, yeah, I definitely understand that there.
It got the reactions that you needed though, so I mean, it worked.
Kudos.
It worked what it needed to do. So I'd say, story-wise, probably that. If I really had to like deep down, probably the Vacation Guy story. And I really wish they got to have a blow-off match like him and Inko. But that just didn't even happen either. So I think a lot of stories they'll have a lot of potential, the ones that really are good,
don't finish,
and then they fall off. Or they just, that's it. They just don't finish. Like something happens, and there are a lot of what if stories, I would say, in Rec Room Wrestling.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's a lot of like unfinished like potential in some of these stories, because there's some that are like you get intrigued, and it's like you're building it up and building it up and building it up, and then it's like either it gets cut off and then something else gets added in front of that, and it's like it doesn't make sense with what the other storyline was, or like you mentioned, something just happens behind the scenes and it if it dies out, and you know, you
Like
kind of left.
I can name a plenty of like stories where people were just like, oh yeah, well my story was really good. I'm like, okay, so how long did it go? And like it was like 2 months, but it just unfortunately ended. It's like, all right, so we're talking about a what if story now.
Yeah, a what if
Like
scenario.
it didn't happen. Like what you're talking about is like if we're talking about what if potential, there's a shit ton more that could be like top 5, top 10, whatever's. And is that like it's a whole conversation of nothing every single time.
Definitely. Well, there you got it, folks. But then honorable mention, the mob. We already know that the best storytelling. Anyways, on to the next one. This one's from a previous member of the mob, Mr. JD. What other communities have you been involved while playing Rec Room? Which is definitely something.
I did a lot of sports ones around the same time when I was doing like commentary just in general. So I was involved a lot with the RHL. So some people who came to Rec Room Wrestling knew me from that. I did a whole season with them, and like I think I commentated like a championship game or something. But like that was Rec Room Hockey. I think that was probably the next biggest, other than like boxing. Rec Room Boxing, obviously, I was with that for a little bit. Some of the communities, they still know me from that, so I'm still in some servers. I don't really have to do anything now, but
You're like,
I keep
I'm
up
just
with
there.
them. So we got that community. Let me think what other one, because it was mostly just me taking around in other rooms and stuff for the most of the part.
Yeah.
Like that's how I got Rec Room content, was just like, because that was the thing that was the most fun to me. I didn't want to just sit around and do nothing the whole time in one place. I wanted to branch out a little bit. So a lot of rec center hours, I would say. Community wise, now that's pretty much it. Community wise, like it was pretty much Rec Room Wrestling, boxing, hockey. I did like other sports every now and then, but those were mostly like one-offs. So like football I did once. I did soccer for fucking Taxis League or whatever that was happening there. But I also didn't watch soccer. So I was like,
you're like,
I would say that's probably my weakest.
team!
I was okay. Like, but I was not good enough to know general.
Yeah.
I wasn't good enough to know the general basics, but that I should have. So I would say like in general, probably pretty bad.
I definitely understand.
Baseball was okay. I did a little bit of baseball. That one was all right. Basketball, that was always a one-off, I would say. I think that's really, like, if you think about sports commentary, that's pretty much it. It's like just doing sports commentary all around. Yeah, no, I'd say that's probably the main communities. Other than that, it was just always moving around rec centers, random rooms of like horror games or the role-playing rooms early on, because that usually had like the cringiest fucking people. And I was pretty cringe back then too. I'm not even gonna lie with you. I have a hard time watching some.
Bandicoot edgy confirmed. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm there. Shit, Bandicoot emo.
That's the god. Dark despair. You know he's a bad guy now because his hair's black.
His hair's black and it's covering his left eye. Oh, it's so scary. I got another question from Mr. JD. This was actually a two-parter, but I kind of digressed over it. What profession do you plan on or already start working on?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right now I'm kind of doing like a mix of finance and HR outside of the game.
Okay.
So my personal role right now is like I am in like the HR, like the front end of HR, I'd say like onboarding, but I work in finance. So like I'm doing HR for finance. While I was doing the mob story and all that was going on, I got my investment licenses at the same time. So like I was studying for these licenses in America, like they're under FINRA. It's called like the SAE, which is like the securities, is like insurance, like investment essentials. Series 6, which is like that one's a little bit more complicated, so I probably won't say that one. And then like the 63, which is like whatever state you're in, you have to have a certain specific license to do business in that state. And I started that process in May, and I got that before the end of the mob story, actually. So that was literally in the middle of telling this whole story, was doing that behind the scenes. And now I'm going to transition into a finance role this year because of those licenses that I got last year.
Hey man,
So
congrats.
I would say I'm likely going to end up more in a finance profession, working with financial advisors, being the back end, and potentially taking over at some point.
Sick.
Yeah, that's my game plan for right now. Maybe things will change, but who knows?
Yeah, man, sick. Congratulations for that. I know definitely. I do remember like you telling me like behind the scenes there was a lot of stuff that you were doing. That wasn't like focusing on this. There was a lot of things behind the scenes for that. So, I mean, congratulations for sticking through and getting your licenses. That and
yeah,
of course,
I mean, like there was the YouTube, like this and the YouTube stuff were like the hobbies that I was doing, and then like obviously like the actual career stuff and my relationship changing too, because I got engaged last year as well. So I've been wedding planning. There's yeah, no, it's been like, I like to think that I'm the busiest person ever, and that's my ego talking. It's I think like if you're like, oh, I'm so busy, I got this, I'm like, okay, it could get a lot worse. I'm telling you.
You don't even understand. You haven't even hit the basis of what being busy is all about. Now,
I like busy though. I think I'd go insane if I wasn't busy.
ADHD me is like I gotta do something. If not, if I sit still for too long, I fucking go insane, man. I gotta be busy. Like if I'm not doing anything. I got one final question from the server. Of course, and this one is from Bruiser saying, "What's your favorite wrestling match of all time? Could be anywhere. WWE, AEW, TNA, etc."
Okay, I got to think about this one a little bit.
We're gonna pick at his brain.
I remember I remember Black and Gold NXT got really loved.
Oof, Black and Gold NXT was good.
Because I remember like, I'm trying to think of which one I liked more. Because I remember watching like the Gargano Ciampa match, that first one they had. I remember really liking that one. Man, yeah, Black and Gold NXT, they had so many good matches back then. Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, 25, and 26 too. I'll put them both together because they were both awesome. In AEW, I remember there was a couple that I had watched. I think like they go a little bit extreme with the violence, but I like the Mox and the Hangman match that they had in Texas pretty recently. That shit was that's pretty peak. I'm not gonna. I used to hate on AEW a little bit, but like you got to give them their props. Like they're good at very certain things, and that's definitely one of them. Like is how they finished that story and everything with that. TNA, I didn't really watch much of TNA honestly, so I don't think I have an answer for that one. I remember there was the best women's match I saw though was like Asuka and Charlotte in that WrestleMania match they had a couple years back. It was like, which one would that be? Like 34, I want to say.
Yeah.
Because I remember thinking like, holy shit, like this is probably the best women's match I have ever seen. And they gotten better since then, but I remember that one specifically being like a personal. 2018 just had some peak wrestling. It was a shitty year for WWE, but like everywhere else, there was always at least some good that was happening, like wrestling wise. Yeah, I'd say that those are probably my picks.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first.
It's the one that comes to my head.
You heard it here first. Top matches of all time. Now I'm gonna transition into some questions. Just me asking these. If you're not from the server, this is just my questions that I'd like to ask. With do you feel for you like now, because technically I believe you mentioned this was going to be the last thing that you were going to do on Rec Room. Is this finally like like a hoorah moment finally after so long being on this game, from when you started to now, us filming this in real time.
Mm-hmm.
Does it finally feel like a full circle moment from like everything? Do you feel like you've explored as much as you could with this place, met the people that you did? Is it going to be something that you kind of like think back on later on when you're like, damn, those were good times, or kind of wish I would have done this different? Or is there anything like, do you have any like feel like you accomplished everything you could have done here, or do you wish there was something more you could have done while still being?
I've had like several moments like that. I feel like every time I've tried to leave, I've had a moment like that where I've thought about like, oh man, what else can I do? What else do I want to do? And like right now, I necessarily don't feel that, just because I've already felt it several other times leading up to this. The last time was when I actually left every server. Like when I finished that final review, that was like okay, that's it. That's the last one. And I just clicked out everything, and I joined a couple because I have still a couple servers, like the Underground Legends one, so I can still like keep up with you guys a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, I think that was very like lethargic, not lethargic, whatever the word is. I'm not really good with big words. I'm good in writing with big words, but like I felt it a lot then. I was like, I feel great with what I've done. A couple years back when I did the return show for GPCW, I had been feeling that same feeling leading up to it. Like I was like, oh great, I feel good. Like this is it. This is the end.
Yeah.
And I always thought about like, so what if I come back for one thing? and I don't regret doing that one either, because like when I came back. Actually, you're the last match I commentated, like officially. You, Jay Biggs, and Jeremy.
Yeah, that was that final one, and DVCW Final Shine. I remember that was that final one where
I don't treat that show as like canon, but I'm like, if you want to talk about like a canon show, I guess like Kai and Danny would have been the last one.
Yeah,
because that was the Rough Landing 3. No, I felt that one leading up to it because I had been retired from commentary for pretty much a year at that point. So I was like, yeah, no, I mean, like I can come back now, do a one-off, see what happens. Then the reaction I got from the one-off, like the crowd reaction, like I kept rewatching that over and over again.
Yeah,
because I loved the feeling of it.
The atmosphere, the environment. When I mean, I've always said this. And I'm gonna say it to you now, is that whenever you showed up, it was some sort of feeling that you get that excitement, that rush, that like, holy shit, the guy that quite literally brought life into the match while we're busy throwing each other left and right, on mattresses and shit, because I know some people do that where like they throw each other on mattresses, or you're seated and everything, which is probably the best option. Don't hurt yourself doing this, but you brought life into it. So whenever we got to see you, or like whenever you were there to commentate for our matches, it was some sort of feeling that kind of rushes over you, like kind of when you watch like that favorite the TV show that comes on early morning. It's kind of weird to explain it like that, but it's just kind of how I felt it. Is that when that excitement, that rush. It was a good feeling. So when you came back for that one-off, it was like, holy shit, everybody in the crowd was jumping, buzzing. Everyone was like, it's him, he's here. And, technically you're just like a celebrity now to all of us in a way. Whenever we got to see you, it was like one of those moments.
That's gonna
like
inflate my ego even more. Don't do that. That's gonna inflate my ego even more.
But like, that's just how I see it. It was like, whenever we saw you, it was such a moment that we had to like cherish it, because we didn't know if you were going to stick around or you're going to leave, because there was moments where like you would do shows, like 2 shows or 3, and then you would like disappear for a bit, and it was like, damn, should have asked him for this, or damn, should have had him like commentate for my matches. So it was you were a celeb, and you still are, you know, whenever you kind of show up. So it was cool. That's kind of how I see it when you came back from that one off. I remember being in the crowd that day, and everybody flipped shit when they heard the iconic Shep Bandicoot theme. Oh, it was so peak. It was so peak. It was so good. So
that's another thing. I was terrible. I'm fucking terrible. I learned through the mob story too. That's one thing I'll admit right now. I have shitty music taste. It was like, because there was that theme too. I was like, oh, I like that theme. That's nice. And like the mob's theme too. Same thing. People were like, oh, this is kind of goofy and shit. I'm like, okay, that's just, I was very stubborn on the theme. That's on me. And that's like, that was very eye opening.
I mean, the thing is, people might have said that it was bad. Well, let me tell you how many people I didn't catch singing along to that shit. So as much as people shit on the fucking taste of the music, there was people humming along, singing along to it. And the people who hate it, I know you fuckers were singing along to it. I've caught you sometimes. So as much as you say there's bad taste, there's people out there that are still gonna love it. And I think that's what's synonymous with it, is that like, whether you may think it's not good, it's catchy to others. And I definitely will say I was one of them that was like, hearing the mob, it was like, they're coming out, but it was like, do, 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 do. You know, once you heard that, you started humming along to that shit. It was so good getting to witness that.
Yeah. So like when that like one-off shit happened, and I came back for it, I got the bug. I got like, because wrestlers, they call it the bug, which is like that feeling from the crowd and everything that makes you really want to come back. And like, I felt that because I started thinking afterwards. I'm like, if I were to come back, how would I come back? What would I do if I did do? And so I had the moment, like, it was like, oh, goodbye, but then it really turned into shit. Well, now I really want to come back.
Yeah, it's kind of like I've always said this, and I kind of take it out of Wave's out of kayfabe episode. This place is kind of like a drug. You kind of like once you take a good hit of it, it's like, fuck.
Well, that's the reason why so many of you guys want to be wrestlers. It's literally the feeling of, it's what the wrestlers describe as the bug. You catch the bug for the business because you love the reactions. We're all egotistical because we all love that reaction.
Absolutely. And I think that's definitely why, you know, for example, I look at two people who are doing this IRL, you know, full, you know, well, three people actually. Yeah, Mr. Cheese, Isaiah, who is wrestling. You have Shay Cross, you know, he's also wrestling. You got Ruby, who is also a wrestler. You have these people who, you know, they push forward, and you know that bug, it just fills the void of like, holy shit, this is really cool. The reactions, the crowd reactions, and everything. And you know, I sometimes I imagine, because I know you and me talked about like, what if you would have gotten a VR? I feel like if you would have gotten it at that time, at that moment when the opportunity was there, that bug would have infected you more than just being on screen. I feel like having the ability to do it as well while being a part of it. Like, for example, the mob stuff. You on VR would have been impeccable, even though we had that for a moment, but
no, so let's clear that one up now too, because I just said like the closest was January 2020. So no, that obviously wasn't me.
Obviously wasn't.
I backstage, so the original plan was to have somebody take my account and do it, and this account is a backup anyway, so I didn't really give a shit what happened to it. And they, by the way, the person who took it over, they vandalized my rec center, like my dorm room, with like a bunch of shit. So originally it was going to be like Rocker who played me when he came out, and Rocker wasn't available, so he asked Kai, and Kai ended up taking my spot. So Dawson, who called it, he was right.
I walked out like Kai.
Kai also literally goes, Dawson, shut up.
I think that was the one thing that like kind of like, while I was at the because I'm over here running the show, making sure this happens. The initial moment when Shep Bandicoot walks out, everyone was like, holy shit, he's on VR. But
Yeah, they bought it. You
then,
guys bought it. I'm gonna tell you right now. You bought it.
yeah. As much people as they say,
Hook,
as
line,
much
and
as
sinker.
yeah. As long as I know, there's some people that say, "Oh, I didn't believe it. It was him." Y'all fucking believed it at that moment in time. Y'all didn't care. Y'all believed it. It was hook, line, and sinker. We reeled you in. But the issue was, it was going so good. But let me tell you that this man Kai does not walks like himself, dressed as you, and then just to put the cherry on top, goes up to Dawson, says the most iconic line, "Shut up, Dawson." And that's when the whole thing just kind of broke out of like, oh, well, it isn't him, but still people to this day still believe it is
I
him.
wanted to keep lying about it. I was gonna come out here and be like, well, there could have been this possibility where I literally, that photo of the VR I got from a Facebook Marketplace. So you guys couldn't track it. You guys weren't gonna be able to find it because all I had to do was pick a location in Facebook Marketplace, and poof, there's a photo right there I could just screenshot and take.
It's so good.
But,
yeah, I gotta understand the build up to that, and like talking about making that a reality was so fun backstage. Me, him, and Rob.
I was actually out of town. I wasn't even at my setup when that happened.
Yeah, he wasn't even here.
I was a couple hours away, I think. I might have been in, where was I? I might have been in Green Bay, actually, when that one happened.
Yeah. I remember it was us having the conversation here, I think 2 days before you left. And then after that, it was just like, it was done deal. We had it all set up, but, well, that went as much as it we planned it for. But I guess now we're
I can
finally
tell you a couple other things I was gonna say. I got other things I planned for, like before the mob stuff happened.
Do tell.
There's one. I don't know if I actually talked about this one a lot. So I was messaging Goji a little bit around the time, and the idea I had, because he had Ralph on the roster for, like, I think, is it GCW or GPW?
GPW probably, more than anything.
GPW. So he had Ralph on there, and he kept messaging like Ralph needed a manager, like he needs someone to talk for him. And the idea hit me. I was like, so what if I'm Ralph's manager?
That would have been a crazy idea, like matching you guys together. It would have been really like a cool dynamic to see both of you, like with Ralph's is how he is, and then you as a manager would have been crazy work.
Similar to like a Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar situation.
Yeah. That would have been
That's what we were trying to figure. And the one thing I was trying to figure out dates. I was like, if I was going to do this, it needed to be like very consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the difference between like my role with The Godfather and that was like The Godfather had some flexibility. I didn't always have to be on screen because it was a joint team. But
yeah, that was a good thing.
That one, if I'm the voice piece for him, I have to be there. So I was like, that one just ended up falling through because it was just like schedule wise, too much going on, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you couldn't accommodate for that.
That plan, just never came to be.
Damn.
It's a what if right there.
That is a crazy what if scenario. That would have been cool to see though. That would have been so unique. Have like a Brock Lesnar Paul Heyman dynamic.
But I knew I wanted to be back as a manager because I wasn't going to be in ring. So I was like, I wanted to be a manager in some capacity, and that I started brainstorming a little bit. So that's where and then we ended up where we did, and and
then the mob was born, and then here we are now. We are now sitting in the place for a lot of those segments were filled. But this is
a pretty fun place to be in.
Yeah, it definitely brings a lot of memories, and a lot of moments that as much as everybody shits on the mob stuff, it's one of those things that people are still gonna remember and still look back at, because it was so synonymous. Even as much as people shit on it, you were the ones talking about it. You were the ones that were bringing engagement to it, anyways.
Yeah, I think personally, obviously, like the backlash aside, it's like I think there's going to be a time where that opinion sort of shifts, and like I don't think it's going to be a full-on shit. I think there's always going to be people shitting on it. That's never going to go away. If it was, I would have explained my reasonings. That would have been it. I could tell you from now till end of time why I think it's good. I can give you legitimate reasons. I can give you my personal reasons. No matter what I give you, I know people will never change their opinion, and that is okay. What I think will happen, though, is that there's going to be people who are genuinely curious about it, and they're going to go, look, They're going to go see what happened. And then they're going to form their own opinions. They might not say it out loud, but they're going to form their own opinions about it. And that's where that shift is going to begin.
Definitely. I think that
because that's how it always works. It's never public. It's always behind the scenes.
It's always like, damn. Let's go look at this. An hour or 2 hours later after them reading it, and they're like, damn, it was actually pretty good. It was actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. But
and I'll leave you with this too. With that, it's okay if you like something about it. You don't have to like everything. If you like something about it, it's okay. You are not a horrible person. You are not a horrible person for thinking the way differently than other people do.
Yeah, if you found something interesting about it,
that you like something.
It's okay, guys. I know you have friend groups that are, don't agree with everything that you say, but hey, you find something good, it's okay to like it. All right, not the end of the world or anything like that. Well, maybe for some people, but definitely.
And if you hate something that everybody else likes, once again, it's okay to hate something that everybody else likes. It goes both ways.
Definitely. And wow, this is a bittersweet. This is a bittersweet episode. Honestly, it's kind of like the beginning to the trilogy of episodes we have filmed for you. We've kind of had your whole story. yeah. We've had your whole story kind of just go down like from the first episode, and now, it's kind of insane to think about that we were able to do so much with you for the time that came back from that one off and everything. So it's been a crazy kooky ride, but we have reached to that time, and I think if there's one thing, and I always like doing this for all my interviews, and you've done this 2-3 other times. Yeah, you've done this twice. I gotta quickly walk this way. I'm gonna move the camera towards you. There's anything that you would like to say? This is your final act before we finally let go of Rec Room fully, completely.
Thank you guys for everything you've done for me. But thank you for being there again at a really tough time that I needed something to take me away from it. Thank you guys for the support that you've given me, or that some of you don't give me anymore. I appreciate the support that I had along the way, regardless of what the situation was. I appreciate you sticking with my reviews, even though I would tell you, don't take it personally. I know there's many people who did, and I apologize to those people who did, because I affected you on that. Thank you guys for tuning in to everything, just being there. I want you guys to be there for each other. I want you guys to support each other. The day that one of you guys makes it as a big wrestler, I'm gonna find a way to go meet you in person. And I will personally shake your hand, and you will never know it's me until I talk to you. But I just support each other. You don't have to like each other. You can tolerate each other. But if you guys want things to work out how they should, just support each other. Be there for each other. Be there for everybody around you. And I'm going to end with a plug for the final time. If you are new to my channel or have never seen it before, go find Shep Bandicoot on YouTube. Go watch some stuff for yourself. Check it out. Give it a chance. If you don't like it, let me know in the comments. That way I can know what happened. That's the least I can, that's the least you can do, I would say. Not really like that, obviously, but supporting wise, that's the least that could be done. I appreciate just anything. Thank you guys for tuning into this interview with myself and Saki Studios. And subscribe.
Yeah. Now, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, for the final time, Shep Bandicoot signing off wherever the hell he from. Those airplane seats back. If not, time. I'm gonna be pissed. Those airplane seats back. But as always, thank you so much. Mr. Shep, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come here, do one final interview. And yeah, this has been Saki Studios and Shep Bandicoot signing off for one final time, one final interview, and the end
For the last
of
time,
an era.
we
Or
are out.